The Cosbro with Zach and Zoe here. Today we saw episode 6 of Arifureta.
From commonplace to the world's strongest, we're just going to skip the first word. Because apparently it's too complicated.
No, it's Arifureta. There you go.
There you go. When there's no pressure on, he'll handle it. So, before we actually jump into the anime, a lot of it skipped and it changed a couple of things from the beginning to the middle. When Hijime and Yao arrive, they actually arrive inside a cave, I think. They're inside a cave, and then they go out of the cave, and they start fighting, all these... They're in a zone where magic can't be used, and this is a zone where really strong creatures are at. So when they go out of the cave, they're actually... they actually get bum rushed by a couple of monsters, and apparently when they're in this area, I forgot what this area is called, but this area is a place where it's impossible to use magic. For a simple spell, you have to use 10 times the amount to cast a simple spell. So even Hijime using his gun, that little electricity that he uses, that actually is taking up a lot of his magic. But because his from the beginning, his level was 1, and his stats were really low to what he is now. His level right now is question marks because he's already past level 100. So he's past level 100. His level is question marks. His stats are off the charts. He's probably the strongest one of all of his classmates.
I would think around the world.
That's where it's heading to. But at the moment, the thing is, his classmates, when they all went into this world, everybody was able to see what their levels. Mm-hmm. So everybody started at level 1, but everybody's stats were 300, attack 300, defense 300, magic 300. Depending, maybe 100 here or there, depending if they're a mage or just depending on what their status is. But all their stats are at 300, except for Hajime. His stats were at 10 all around. But that goes into the whole him, getting stronger inside the abyss. So when he comes out of the abyss, they don't show this, but do you guys remember the time he spent inside? He spent, I believe, 3 months.
Yeah, Maverick's lair.
Yeah, so inside there, they don't show it, and I don't know if you guys noticed it, but now he has 2 handguns. He created a second handgun. When he created that left arm, it can actually feel. It can feel. It has the sense of feel, touch. It has all. It's like an arm. He was able to create an arm, but not only just create a regular arm. He was able to create a metallic but real arm. So that arm is just a part of his body, but it needs a lot of magic to use. So again, it's constantly using magic. But he just has his magic points are, I believe, all his stats are more than 2,000. Either 1,000 or over 2,000, one or the other. I forget which one it is. I'll get more information in the next video. But before he teleports before he teleports outside of the abyss, he creates another handgun. I believe he created another railgun, a bazooka. I believe some other weapons. He also created that motorcycle, and I believe he created a Hummer or some kind of war machine that looks. Yeah, a Humvee or something like that. Something that looks like a Humvee. He created all of these things while waiting for that 3-month period to go to the surface. So I'm kind of disappointed that they didn't show him creating all that, because I would have liked to see maybe like 5 minutes of him showing all his items, all his weapons, and everything.
Oh, well, yeah, like a little picture at least or something.
And so he gets there, he fights all these monsters, and then he meets up with the bunny girl. When we jump to the bunny girl side of the story, she's actually running. She's running from monsters. Before she was running from monsters, before she got where she is, or before her tribe got to where they're at, her tribe, I believe that she was born with that special ability to see the future. She can't see the future. She can see parts of a future. She can see multiple futures, and then she can pick she can choose which way she wants to go. But when she picks that, the future changes. So the future is she'll never see the actual future. She'll see parts of a future depending if she makes the right choices. So before we get to that ability and all that, she was in her village. I forget, what was the village called, but it was attacked by humans, and I actually don't remember if it was the type of humans, but something happened where her tribe was being chased because they're going to take them into slavery. Because as you guys know, bunnies are probably the best looking demi-humans out there. So they were being captured for different kind of things, but they were being chased, and they got chased into this rift. That's where all these dinosaurs, those flying creatures, were at. So she got chased into the rift with all her, I don't remember exactly how big her village was, but it got whittled down to 60 people. So by the time that she found Hajime, and by the time Hajime and the bunny girl got to the village, it was whittled down to 40 people. So they're being killed off. The bunnies were being killed off. Hajime, and it took a lot longer for the bunny girl to convince Hajime, because like she just wouldn't stop annoying him to the point where Yui just started feeling sorry for the bunny girl. But and it's funny, and the anime actually kept it really clean, because there's lots of parts where Hajime does things to the bunny, as in throw her around, or things blow up, or she's supposed to be half naked. I mean, she's already half naked, but she's supposed to be, her clothes right now minus 50% or 75%. That's how much But the anime actually cleaned it up really well on that fan service. So all this happens, they meet up, and then all these other amazing little things happen. He knows that there's, I believe, 6 more labyrinths, and he knows there's one labyrinth near that area. That's why he didn't go searching for a town. He didn't go out of a town. He stayed in that area because he wanted to look around for the dungeon. I don't think he wanted to go in the dungeon. He just wanted to find the location, but he found it, and it looks like this dungeon is probably the main dungeon, the biggest one, because it needs 4 keys for it to open, right? So he's probably gonna go, after. I'm assuming he's eventually gonna meet his classmates, which I honestly like. How do you think that's gonna go?
Very poorly.
I don't know. Like, do you think he's gonna try to kill the guy who threw him down the rift?
I think so. But I don't think he actually knows who it was.
No, he knows who it is. He knows who it is. In the anime, it showed.
Yeah, in the anime, it tells you, like, it gives you a hint of who it is and who they suspect it to be.
So in the light novel, it actually tells you who it is. It is the guy that in episode 2 where he sees him. The reason that guy kills Hajime, or tries to kill Hajime, is because he's in love with that one main priestess, and for some reason the priestess really likes Hajime, because Hajime has this, even though he's the weakest, or just in the way, he'll do anything he can to save someone, like the bunny girl. Not this Hajime, not the Hajime that we know now, but if it would have been Hajime before he would have gone through all these changes, Hajime would have tried to help this girl, even though he was weak. He would have tried to help her, but this new Hajime, this new personality that he has, he went from good to bad. So the priestess is actually, I don't know if it says in love, but I know that she likes him in that kind of way, but because of his old personality. So when she sees this new personality, how much he was corrupted, how much he changed, like, I don't know how the priestess is gonna react. And the guy who killed them, he did it because he was jealous, because he wanted the priestess to himself, because he always was. I understand that the priestess likes, there's other characters who are a lot stronger, before Hajime becomes the world's strongest, in the anime. And the guy, I forgot the guy's name, who's always jealous, but he was like, I understand if she likes this guy because he's awesome, he's super strong, but Hajime's the weakest of the weak. There's no reason for her to like Hajime over me. That's why he killed Hajime, or tried to kill Hajime. But we're going to I just want to see the meeting between the priestess, Hajime, and that guy. Like, I wonder if he's gonna call him out, because the class, even though it happened, they don't talk about it because they know someone shot off, but they don't want to throw accusations. They don't want to have any more problems. So it doesn't really give us much of the class in the anime, but on the light novel, it's actually telling us how the class is progressing. They're pretty strong right now where they're at. They're nowhere near Hajime's level, but they they don't want to solve the mystery of who killed Hajime. So when Hajime meets them, that's gonna be one of the things where they're gonna talk about.
The plot thickens.
But I don't know, do you want to add anything? What was your favorite
No,
part?
I think you covered everything. My favorite part, I like the part where when we see the bunny, when we get introduced to the bunny girl and she meets Hajime and he just bullies her, I guess. Like when he throws her into the dinosaurs. Like
One last thing I forgot to mention. That motorcycle, you know how it sounded? It's actually a hybrid. You know, it's an electric vehicle, in other words, because it's powered by his magic. It's not powered by gas. It technically would sound like... It won't sound like like
the
how
engine sound.
And that's one of his complaints, because he wants his thing to sound like what all the... He was trying his hardest to build a vehicle that has horsepower, like that just like... You know, you can't hear any music because that's how strong the motor is.
It makes sense about the Humvee then.
Yeah, so he's obsessed with military things, military vehicles. So when he built the motorcycle and the Humvee, he wanted to build them with monster motors, but he just couldn't. So all his vehicles are hybrids. Or they're all electrical vehicles. You know, magic vehicles where they don't make any noise. Great for a drive-by.
Oh man!
But we'll leave it.
Oh, never mind.
Okay. We'll leave it here, guys.
That's all right.
That's pretty much it.
He pretty much covered more than the episode, I guess.
If you guys have anything you want to add to the episode, let us know what was your favorite scene. Let us know who your favorite character is right now. Your favorite character is?
We've been introduced to like 3.
No, I know, but you the bunny girl Hajime or the vampire princess?
Hajime. I mean, it's your horror of the vampire princess so far.
I like the vampire princess. I think vampire princess is right now over Hajime. We'll see what happens.
The bunny girl, like we don't really know who she is yet.
Well, I'll give the bunny girl another episode before she wins my heart. I'm a bandwagon when it comes to these anime characters.
Kitsune, I guess. Like, all right, thanks for watching, guys.